Hi and welcome to a Monday recorded. I am on the Balmoral, hopefully on the way to Iceland, probably getting on today, up in Scotland, and I'm with the family. So it's a big cruise, got a good crowd, so it should be quite an event. I'm recording this week, so my Monday today, obviously. Wednesday, I'm recording a game of pairs. So I played a game of pairs last week. Not a lot of people played. I should have promoted it a little bit more, I have to admit. So a small group of players, but we had some fun, and I recorded that game, and you can see that on Wednesday in the usual slot. And then I'm recording the Friday live as well. And then the week after that is our holiday. So there'll be no recordings on the week after that. And then, of course, we come back and we have another couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks of normality, and then another holiday at the end. But this time a real holiday with my family in Cornwall. But that's ahead of us. So what's going on the site? Well, we are still defending. It is a summer of defence, as I promised you. We had defence in June. We had teams defence, which is still going on, and I'm going to finish with some example hands this week. And then in August, we are defending as partner of the leader later in the hand. That's quite a mouthful, isn't it? We looked at partner of the leader at trick 1 last year. We are going to look beyond trick 1 this time, and just thinking about the kinds of things that the partner of the leader is thinking about. The analysis of the lead has happened. Should we be leading that suit back? That kind of thing. So that's something to look forward to. Hard work defence, and it has been a summer of defence. We've got our normal suspects today. We've got the 5-level decision. We've got the example hands, as I say, which is what I'm going to look at with regard to the seminar topic. No beginners today, because I've got to the end for the moment, and I'm going to consider what we're going to do perhaps in the beginners slot, having sort of pretty much covered the whole gamut, as it were, over the 2 years that I've been putting in the little bits at the end of these Monday lives. But we will have a bidding quiz, so we'll keep you occupied. In terms of the holidays, well, Denham Grove, we like to do one per month there, but there's a variety of things, as you can see, a variety of topics. I'm going to be there. I think I'm in there in August and October. And then, of course, at Twixmas, we've got a variety of hosts there as well. There's Richard and Sue. And, well, of course, we have our usual festive season there. So you have your great choice there. Okay, let me take you to the 5-level decision here then. Let's start with that. This is something that came up on the Friday, and it's an interesting one. It goes 4 clubs from south. Nobody's vulnerable. Double, 5 clubs. Okay, 4 clubs, double, 5 clubs. Nobody is vulnerable, and it's your bid. 4 clubs, double, 5 clubs, and it's your bid. So have a think about that one. It's rather different, isn't it? And see what you come up with for that one. I'm going to come back here and think what I've got to do next. I've just got to rearrange a few things. I've got to remember the configurations and various things. There we go. Okay, and I'm just moving to the next hand. Lovely. Okay, so I've sorted that out. I could have been slipping that up while I was doing that, couldn't I? You're absolutely right. So in terms of the holidays abroad, of course, we've got a summer sale for selected things, which is £50 off, which is no mean thing. That's not off the Malta one, because the Malta one is a brand new one, and it's been going quite well. So there's a few places left, mostly for doubles and twins. There may be the odd single, so do inquire. And believe you me, we do do our best to get as many as big a single allocation as we can, but they do go quickly. So if you're ever interested in one of our events as a single, please do bear in mind that we have a huge demand for singles, and they tend to go before the doubles and the twins. That's not to say that as a double or as a twin you should take your time. There you go. Okay, so let's go to the seminar. Defence at teams is what we've been talking about. I'm going to quickly sum up what we've talked about, then we'll look at the example hands I've had sent in. So teams of 4. Remember, our aim is to not worry about over tricks. So the beauty of teams defence is it's much more precise. Your aim is simply to get the contract down. Okay, so over tricks are not so important, so you can take risks to defeat the contract. Aggressive leads and switches are good. What else is there? Well, basically active defence in the middle of a hand, thinking, what do I need partner to have? You can make doubleton leads. You can lead away from honours. You can be optimistic. And in fact, there's times when I'll say to myself, what do I require partner to have? So I'm going to make some different plays in teams than I am to pairs, because I'm going to say, okay, I need my partner to hold this. I know that if he doesn't hold it, I will end up giving an over trick away. But an over trick is just one imp playing teams, whereas taking the contract down can be 12. Okay, so that's really important to understand. What we did last week was we talked about penalties, which is subtly different, because funnily enough, in pairs, quite often taking the one off vulnerable can be a complete top, so you don't need to worry about taking it more than one off. Whereas playing teams, the penalties are what can create big swings for you. So if you get your opponents outgunned, okay, and you know they're going one off, as it were, well then look for more, because if you can get to the 800, okay, that's where you get your teammates will love you. They'll say, oh, just 110. Oh, plus 800 kind of thing. And that's where you get these big swings, 12, 13, 14 imps, those kind of things. Okay. So funnily enough, greed can be good when you're in those doubled contracts. Okay, so that's what I've got there. So what we're going to do is look at the hands. So here's the first one. That was sent in by Angela, actually. So thank you for that. I do love having hands sent in, so please do continue to send them in. So here we are. Well, let's have a look at how the contract goes. You passed second in hand, so we're vulnerable against non-vulnerable opponents. 1 spade by West, 2 clubs, okay. 2 diamonds. So we're not bidding here, just a normal auction. 2 no trumps. 3 hearts. 3 no trumps. Okay, so that's the auction thus far. What are we thinking? Well, it looks like obviously West has got 2 suits and East has got 2 suits. Not sure what 3 hearts means. We ask them, and 3 hearts says, partner, are you sure about your hearts? So East has suggested a heart stopper by bidding 2 no trumps, but West, I think, is saying, look, are you sure? So he's perhaps just got a small doubleton or even singleton. So East is sure. Do we lead here? I think it's quite a tricky one, but South chose the 8 of hearts. The only worry I have with that is that it seems to be blocking the suit. There was a singleton in dummy, so I like the 3 heart bid. I think it should be artificial. They're saying, partner, are you sure you've got a stopper? So I would feel East must have, now that I can see the ace, king, jack, East must have queen to 4. I think with queen to 3, that would be silly bidding. Now, we can't always trust our opponents, but when you've shown a heart stopper and then your partner asks you, are you sure about your heart stopper? I really think it should be queen to 4 rather than queen to 3. So that's what I would guess that East is holding here. How many points have the 2 hands got? Well, we've got 11. Partner's shown the king of hearts, that's 14. I think he should have at least 10. So I think there's only 2 points left. Are you happy with that? So you've got to decide which 2 points you want them to be. Well, clearly the Queen of clubs is no good to you at all. Surely they can just finesse for the Queen of clubs if partner has that. The Queen of spades doesn't look any good. I think we're struggling here. Partners, I'm sure, going to lead a heart back. Okay. I've got to assume that East has Queen 10 to 4 there. Now, also I've blocked the suit. That's why I didn't really like the 8 of hearts lead, but I was showing you what happened at the table, which gives you a chance. I don't want to cash the Ace of hearts here. I'm going to hope that my partner's got the Queen of diamonds. I think that is the only useful card my partner can have here. If I cash the Ace of hearts, I think I'm establishing an extra trick for the opponents, and that feels like they've got the contract made. 5 club tricks. The Queen of hearts, the Ace King of spades, and the King of diamonds, particularly if they've got the Queen of spades as well. I'm going to play a small diamond. I'm just hoping that partner's got the Queen. Okay, and then that's an aggressive play. Don't get me wrong, that's a really aggressive play, but I think that's the only chance I've got. Now, what we're going to see in a moment when I open up all the hands is that De Clara got this wrong. Now, partner, notice I haven't cashed the heart there, though, because what was interesting, and then I'll take the Ace of diamonds. I hope you're happy with that, so that's one off. If I just open up the hands there, I mean, we can claim it. We'll claim one off, and we'll have a look what happened. So, I think it's okay. I think the auction is okay there. There's a 10 count with lovely clubs, 2 no trumps, 3 hearts. Are you sure you've got a heart stopper? Yes, I've got 4 of them, partner. And I think that's reasonable. I might have ended up, if I was going to lead a heart, I'd have probably led the Jack of hearts. I think I'd have probably led a diamond here, and I think that works better. I think a diamond and East has to duck. So I think the diamond lead is best for the defence. A diamond would go to the Queen, and of course, seeing the singleton, North may well switch to a heart. Okay, and if North switches to a small heart to the Jack, we may well then take 5 tricks, and I don't think De Clara can do much about it. Having said that, look at De Clara's hand, and this is the crucial thing here. Maybe De Clara should say to themselves, well, I've got a 50-50 chance here. If I put the King of diamonds, so whenever, whether it's at trick 1 or at trick 4, as we did lead the 7 of diamonds, I think De Clara should say, well, I've got a 50-50 chance. If I put the King of diamonds up and South has the ace, I've got 9 tricks. Can you see that? So if South leads a diamond, I think West should go straight up with the King and then take the 9 tricks that are on offer. And in fact, you'd win the King, cash your clubs, and if South makes the mistake of discarding a spade, probably shouldn't do, but South's got a lot of high cards to hold on to, you'll end up making even more, but probably should make just 9 tricks. The same as we had, if you saw, if we just go to that, heart to the King, heart back to the Jack. If I cashed the Ace of hearts, I noticed that Q Plus put the King of diamonds up when I switched. So I've decided here to try and steal a trick. When I lead this diamond, I think De Clara's only chance here is to put the King up. And if he puts the King up, 9 tricks. Okay? I think the Ace of hearts makes it more obvious, though, to East there. You know, if I've taken 3 tricks, because clearly if you don't put the King up, then surely De Clara, you know, the defence are just going to take their tricks. So I think De Clara should get that one right. I think the best lead is a small diamond. It's an aggressive lead, okay, here, but I think a small diamond is your best lead. That's more aggressive than leading hearts, because I think hearts, you're blocking the suit. That's not going to work, even if De Clara did have Queen 10 to 3, okay. I think a small diamond is a brilliant lead. It's going through a suit that's bid, but it's your best bet. Your partner can win it, and surely your partner here will attack by switching to hearts, and in that way, should De Clara go up with the King of diamonds at trick 1? That's a really interesting one. I think they should, though. I think they should get that way. Okay, let's have a look and move on to the next one. So this is the next one. This was one which you may remember. You may remember this came from a team's match. So let's have a look at it. The auction was 2 spades. It wasn't exactly the same. We'll see. And it goes 2 spades here. 3 spades. So partner's open to weak 2, all non-vulnerable. 3 spades overcall, showing some kind of strong hand, usually a 2 suited. I'm going to double that. Say partner, yep, I like your spades, please leave them. And it went 3 no trumps. If I remember, it went 2 spades doubled, 3 spades playing the teams, but it's not going to make too much difference. Okay, so it's 3 no trumps, your partner's lead, and the 10 of spades is led. Now, as I say, I think double is probably better. 3 spades, maybe East was trying to say, look, I'm really strong. So, 3 no trumps is bid by West. We know West has got 4 spades. You've got to think your way through this hand, okay? And your job is to defeat the contract. So, if partner's got Queen 10-9 to 6 or King 10-9, that's what we're expecting partner to have. Are you happy with that? Partner's got King 10-9 or Queen 10-9. We're going to have to hope partner's got another high card. We'd expect partner usually to, because the spades aren't perfect, as it were. And to be honest, we know what we need partner to hold. We need partner really to hold the ace of clubs here. We're expecting Declarer to play on clubs. The only thing I would say is if Declarer has 3 clubs to the ace, Declarer may well try to finesse us for the club anyway. Might play king of clubs and finesse, expecting us to be longer in clubs. Although it's, you know, if they can duck spades for long enough. If I play the ace of spades, let's have a think. If Declarer's got King Jack to 4, that's not going to work. We're expecting our partner to get the lead. That's the crucial thing here. So if I play the ace of spades and play a spade back, if partner's got Queen 10, again, unfortunately, Declarer can just duck. So playing pairs, this is tricky, because if partner's got Queen 10-9 to 6, I sort of need to win the ace and lead one back to make sure of 2 spade tricks. Whereas if I duck, I'm allowing West to win the jack. Can you see? And we might only make 1 spade trick. And that jack could be important. So playing pairs, I'm going to be probably tempted to play the ace up, not necessarily expecting the contract to go down. Playing teams, my job is to find a way to get the contract down. So what I'm doing is I'm giving partner the ace of clubs and I'm working out the best method. And I think ducking is your best play here. Okay, so I am going to duck the spade. I'll play the 4 rather than the 2. That's subtle, but I have doubled 3 spades. So partner knows I've got something. But what I think, if I duck here, that puts the pressure on Declarer. Now, clearly, if Declarer's got King Jack, it's probably going to survive. But if Declarer's got Queen Jack to 4 here, that is where it works out. And if you remember at the time, I did point out that particularly if it's Queen Jack 8, small. Because if I put the ace on now and play another spade back, Declarer can play the queen, partner plays the king, but won't be able to play another one. And of course, we're expecting our partner to get the lead. So what we did is we worked out to play the 4 of spades. At the table, Will tried to duck a spade, which was absolutely fine, but of course, partner can continue with an ace, but we'll look at that later. Okay. So we just play low and partner hopefully plays a spade. And we can open up the hand here so you can see what's going on. Our duck has allowed us here to now take all the spades, and it works rather nicely. And obviously partner takes all of those spades. Okay, and we can claim the 7 tricks that we are due. So we've taken it 2 off. Can you see that if we played the ace of spades on the 10 there, let me just show you that. So if we start the play and we play the ace of spades on the 10, because of that 8, partner's stuck. And if partner plays another spade, look, Declarer makes the jack and the 8. Partner, not unreasonably, is hoping that we've maybe got the 8. And he's got to try and get the contract down. So it's the right defence from North. He's got to try to get the contract down, but of course it won't work. on the hand, I suppose, if a diamond switch isn't going to work here because there's not enough tricks. Declare can leap up with the ace, as it were, when we only make 4 tricks. So it's interesting. At the time, what happened at the table, the 10 of spades was ducked, which possibly was West's best chance. So the 10 of spades won the first trick, but of course Pete's able to play a spade to the ace and another spade, and he's got the ace of clubs. North knows, so there's nothing that Declare can do playing the 10 of spades. Not an easy one playing pairs though, because playing pairs, I'm thinking to myself, well, look, the only time I'm going to gain by ducking is if Declare has particularly Queen Jack 8 to 4. Okay, so and I will lose a lot of the time when Declare has King Jack to 4. And that is the difference. That is the fine line between pairs and teams. Playing teams, it's precise. Playing pairs, it's imprecise. Because if I duck the 10 of spades and it turns out partner's led from Queen 10, 9 to 6, I may well allow to, I'll allow Declare 2 easy tricks, both the Jack of spades and later the King of spades. And that could be an extra over trick. Okay. All right, let's look at the last example. Let me just bring it up. I tell you what, I think it's going to be easier. I mean, I did look at this and see if I could do this without it being open to everybody. But this is another one that came from the teams on another game. It was slightly, I mean, it's a bit of a contrived one because the bidding's not quite right. But let's look at it. And I tell you what, I will probably take control of all the players because I think that's going to be easier. Let's see what happened at the table. At the table, the auction was not ideal. I mean, for me, South has got such a strong hand, I'd be tempted to open it with a strong bid. But it went 1 diamond, pass from East. Sorry, let's start again. Apologies. It went pass. I'd forgotten that North was the dealer. 1 diamond, of course, from South. Pass from East. North chose 1 heart. I have to say, with 5-5 in the majors, I would generally bid the spades and plan to rebid the hearts. The difficulty for South, the reason why I think a diamond doesn't work brilliantly, is if North had replied a spade, I've got no idea what to bid with the South hand now, because I would feel the South hand's much too strong to just rebid 3 diamonds. Now, it turns out games are not easy to make because the diamonds don't break. But on a normal diamond break, clearly, you're making a lot of tricks here. It's not far off wanting to be in a slam. Whereas 1 diamond followed by 3 diamonds doesn't say that. But anyway, at the table, it went 1 heart, pass, 3 no trumps, which again this is the problem with the diamond opener. You're forced to guess at the next bid. So if partner responds a spade, I've no idea what you're going to bid with the South hand. Partner responds a heart, again, you're sort of guessing. Now, 3 no trumps is likely to be the best contract, but you could easily, and maybe 6 diamonds is. But anyway, you finished in it, and we've got to defend against that. And I think the normal lead here, given that leading a singleton spade looks crazy, so we'd tried a club. Okay, and at the table, the Queen was played. Declare then, of course, plays diamonds. And gets a nasty shock actually through a club. Interesting. What should East do? Well, I think East wants to put partner off playing clubs, so probably discards a club, and then the Queen of diamonds is played, and it goes 9, maybe a heart, and I would probably, I think, just play a low spade. Your job as East is to persuade partner to switch to hearts. And there's a fair chance that South 3 no trumps might be based on a hand where they've got a singleton. You're not expecting a void heart. And then another diamond to establish the suit, which makes sense. Now, at this point, West has to decide what to do. I think, remember, your job is to take the contract down. South has 3 more diamond winners. And surely has a high card to go with them, so you're expecting Declare to have, 9 tricks. And crucially, you've got to take everything into account. I would cash the ace of clubs here. And what happened is South followed with the king, okay, which is a clever play. Remember, he knows that the ace and queen have gone. He knows the jack's good, but you should not fall for that. Your partner has thrown clubs here. You really should, you should be happy, as it were, that partner does not. Partner's blocked the clubs anyway if he's got the jack of clubs, so you don't need to play a club here. You've seen partner's lowest spade as well, so you're not placing partner with the ace of spades. Partner should have given an aggressive signal in spades. He's chosen to discard one major card, and that was the lowest spade. So I think you should get this right. I think I would cash. It's a really tricky one whether you lead low or play the king. You might think, oh, play the king because there might be the jack singleton, but then actually partner's forced. Declarer can finesse your 10, so actually that's not enough. Maybe the king of clubs is a plainer card though, but the best defense will be the 2 of hearts. That will work. That goes to the jack, and of course then we get an open book because you make sure that you take it down. Declarer's still going to make the 9 there, so you can't stop him making that, but you make sure you take the contract down. And this is the thing about teams, it's precise. Okay, Declarer has to go down, and of course South has 4 winners now, but you've taken it down. This really should have been a flat board with obviously 3 no trumps going down. But Declarer made a neat play, dropping his king of clubs, and West fell into the trap and played another club, thinking, okay, hopefully partner's got the jack, and then can switch to hearts. It's not an easy one to defend in the sense that South has bid very, very wildly. Okay, it really is a really wild piece of bidding, which obviously is the right contract. Don't get me wrong, if diamonds break 3-2, that 3 no trumps, but you want to bid it. For me, it's more like a 2 club bid, particularly if you play Benji. If you play 3 weak 2s, I don't think you've got any choice here. You've got to open a diamond and then make a wild bid at your second bid. You've got no choice, as it were, because, bear in mind that the auction should go a diamond 1 spade. I think you've got a really tough bid next, because I don't want to be making a non-forcing 3 diamond bid. And if you do bid 3 diamonds, partner should pass it. Whereas really, well, I suppose partner might bid 3 hearts. Yeah, might do, and you'd finish in maybe 4 spades. Anyway, sorry to drift there. So that's quite a hand, that one. And again, that was from live play. So that's teams we've talked about. I'm sorry about the Wednesday live this week. Of course, is on pairs, but hopefully we've managed to mention teams defence and the way it varies from other elements. So I just got to quickly do a couple of things then. And then we'll look at the 5-level decision and we'll finish with the bidding quiz. So let's do that. Here is our 5-level decision. Okay, so we had the auction. Quite interesting, this one, 5-4 clubs, double 5 clubs. And then it's our bid. Well, you've got to do, for me, that double is takeout. As far as I'm concerned, that's takeout. Partner's got a decent hand. I've got an extraordinary hand. I'm sorry to mislead you by calling it a 5-level decision, because for me, this is a 6-level decision. I would feel that partner, I think 6 clubs works best for me here. In theory, I guess 5 no trumps might be pick a slam. I think 6 clubs is pick a slam. I think 6 clubs is perhaps clearer. Who knows? Partner might think 5 no trumps is to play. I don't think so. An expert partnership will define the difference between 6 clubs and 5 no trumps. But I want to play in a slam. Basically, look at it. I'm looking at what? 5, 9, 10, 15 points. Yes, partner might be looking at a void in clubs and therefore might be stretching his bid, and sometimes we might be missing an ace and a king. But even then, maybe there's a finesse. For me, I'm expecting South to have 8 clubs. North's probably got 2 or 3, maybe even 4. I hope he's only got 3, in which case partner's got a singleton club and will be. But I'm expecting most of the time partner to have everything. So for me, this is just, you know, I'm going to bid 6 clubs and ask partner to bid what his longest suit. We are going to miss. I mean, let's open up the hands. We're going to miss a grand slam sometimes. And I think that's the point. Maybe 5. You've got to decide which one's stronger: 5 no trumps or 6 clubs. But here we would pass that out, obviously. And I mean, they could sacrifice at the 7 level possibly. But I think that's a normal auction. West has got what I'd expect him to have for 4 clubs. I mean, I don't think you should be. I mean, with support for all the suits, I think it's reasonable not just to make a takeout double over 4 clubs. South has got what we expect. The computer didn't want to bid 5 clubs with the North Hand, but I think with 11 clubs between you, you should bid 5 clubs. And I think it's important. It looks like a 5-level decision, but it's important that you make it into a 6-level decision here. What would double mean for double? For generally here is just going to be saying, look, partner, let's take the money. Your partner might bid 5 hearts over that, but you might have, I suppose, a flattish hand with 5 diamonds and think, I'm not sure we want to be in a contract. But as you can see, partner's got a really lovely hand as well. And 6 hearts is comfortable, isn't it? You're going to draw trumps. And you are going to hopefully establish a spade. I think probably the best way of playing it is to lead up to spades. Be a little bit careful here because you have got a diamond loser. So you do need to play up to the spades, if that makes sense, and eventually you can discard a diamond on your winning spade. So as so often, these hands can be slightly trickier than they first seem. If you waste your queen of spades, so let's say you draw trumps and lead the queen of spades thinking it's a finesse. Well, of course, you haven't got the backup. Think back to those times where we talked about the idea of leading up to your high cards. Here, you'd probably, let's say it was a club lead, you'd draw trumps, you'd play ace of spades, small spade to the queen. If North ducks, cross back over, small spade to the jack. Okay, and there's nothing that North can do if he goes up with the king, which he will on the 2nd round or 3rd round. Then, of course, you've got the extra winner and you can discard your diamond. If instead you waste the queen of spades, they can come back with anything, and I think you'll eventually end up losing the 4th round of diamonds there. Okay, so be aware that you're expecting bad breaks. Obviously, the South has got 8 cards in one suit, and surprisingly, you'll find he's got 3 hearts. So at that point, you sort of know what South's got. So therefore, you can lead the ace of spades and lead another spade, and that sorts out the hand for you after drawing trumps, I should say. Okay. Let's finish off then. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. I've been asked to just quickly mention actually the Christmas cruise there. So if you are thinking about Christmas, obviously we have our usual events in Denham, but you've also got the option of the Canaries, which I think is rather nice. And what else is there? The bidding quiz. So let's go to it. There you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I'm away. I'm not saying I'm going to get warm when I'm away. Because the forecast isn't for hugely high temperatures in Iceland. Anyway, we've changed the theme now. We're going to have 1 no trump overcall. So here, 1 spade from your partner, 1 no trump overcall from South. Nobody's vulnerable. 1 spade from your partner, 1 no trump overcall, and it's your bid. Okay, remember you can get the solution to that on the site, whether you're a member or a non-member. And do have a look at the site. Things have changed. We've got a sort of brand new site, which hopefully is easier to use. We'd love to get you to have a go, so you can trial it if you've not been with us before, and we'd love to see you. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, next week I am away, and I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and look forward to seeing you there. Have a lovely week or 2, and see you again soon.